Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Saturday evening, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. I'm hoping that even though it is a Saturday night, and I know most people are either spending time with family or you're out and about doing things, that people will come on here and still watch live. Hey there, Jacob. Glad to have you here. Hey there, Keveron. Glad to have you here. And I know it's kind of early on a Saturday for me to be posting a video. Usually mine are late. But for one, I want to watch the Braves game, which starts here in about an hour. The way they're playing right now, you don't want to miss a Braves game, especially if you're a baseball lover like I am. And second of all, Saturday of the month, I don't have a wrestling show, so I'm home taking it easy, being fat and lazy. But I've got SWA next Saturday, CMW the following Saturday, Scrappy Championship Wrestling the following Thursday, and then Total Aggression Wrestling that Saturday, and then Total Aggression Wrestling again on the last Saturday of the month because there's 5 Saturdays in the month of May. So 5 shows this month, 4 on the next 4 Saturdays and 1 on a Thursday. So I'm taking this weekend off, but I actually had every intention of doing a different video tonight and going somewhere totally different. But then I saw this article about 4:30 Eastern time this afternoon, and when I saw it, I thought, you know what? I'll talk about that because this time of the year, now that it's May, football are starting to miss football, and we still about 4 more months really before it starts. And of course, if you're an NFL fan, you're still either really excited or really depressed about your team's draft, depending on whether or not you think it was bad or good. But that'll last about another 3, 4 weeks, and then you'll start getting ready for the season and getting football hungry. So I thought, let's talk some college football. And now that the spring games are out of the way and over with, USA Today has released their post spring top 25. And the reason why they list it as post spring is because, for the most part, it's the same 25 teams that they released in their way too early prediction back in February. But then they go around and they watch every team's spring game, and then they change their mind and decide whether you were too high or too low, depending on what about your spring game, which I've never understood because in the spring games, almost for everybody, the rosters aren't divided evenly. You can't tackle a quarterback. You can't run kickoffs back or butts back. You can't block field goals. None of the passes go more than 3 yards downfield. The running backs pretty much get the ball and fall down. So you're never going to determine anything from spring games. They're just a glorified practice, a glorified scrimmage, just a way to try to encourage fans to come out and meet the team, because most teams let you come for a spring game. If you pay to park, it's $4 or $5, nothing like you'd pay, for an actual game day game. And most teams don't charge an entrance fee, so it's not much, nothing like it would be for a game. And then most people that have kids stay after, meet the players, go on the field, take pictures, sign autographs, all that, but you don't learn anything. So how you can go to a team spring game and decide whether or not you had them ranked too high or too low, I'll never know. But they do it every year. And these things will never go away, because if you're football hungry, the only thing really you can talk about is the preseason polls, because from January to September, nothing happens. And if there's a practice, most of the time, except for on occasion, they're closed to the public. But even if they are open, nothing happens. You don't see anything. So for almost 8 months, nothing goes on except for these preseason polls. So they're never going to go away. And it's always funny to me how they come out and people look at them and then they take to heart where their team is ranked and they get so serious about it. And if their team is ranked too low, they get so mad about it. If their team's ranked too high, they say, "Man, I wish we wouldn't rank that high. Too much pressure on us now," which is not true at all. But then, second of all, if their team is ranked top 10, they think their team is a top 10 team, and then come season time, they're 7-5, and it's like, "Boy, we ranked too high." It's a ranking. It doesn't mean anything. But if you're football hungry and football starved, there's nothing to talk about for 8 months except for these rankings. So they're never going to go away. So let's go ahead and take a look at the USA Today post-spring top 25. And I've actually already did 5 of the teams listed on here a preseason video where I told you what I think their record is going to be. And I'll tell you who those 5 teams are as we go along and tell you what I had their record being as we go along. Hey there, I'm going to hope your name's pronounced Daisha. If I pronounced that, I apologize, but good to have you here. And I don't recognize your name, Daisha. Your first time being here, for whatever reason, made you stop by the channel tonight. Thank you very much. Feel free to give the video a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. Tell your friends, tell your family about the channel, and share the video on all social media platforms. But the number 1 team from the USA Today post-spring top 25 is Ohio State. And I've already did a preseason prediction video on them, and I believe that was this past week. And I had them going 9-3. Number 2, Notre Dame. Number 3, Texas. Number 4, Georgia. Number 5 is Indiana. Then 6 through 10, we have Miami, who also did a prediction video on. I picked the Hurricanes to go 11-1. They've had the best record from the 5 teams I've done so far. Normally, I start doing my preseason prediction videos late March, early April, and I do about 1 a week up until the season starts. Occasionally, I'll do 2 a week. But since this is not a college football channel exclusively, and we also talk NFL, and we also talk Major League Baseball and NASCAR and wrestling and basketball, I don't do college football videos every day, but occasionally I'll do 2 a week. But normally it's 1 a week. So when I start late March, early April, by the time September gets here, I've done between 20 and 25 teams. It's May now. I've already done 5. Miami had the best record so far. The teams I've done, I had them going 11-1. Number 7, Oklahoma. Number 8, Oregon. Number 9, Ole Miss. And rounding out the top 10 is the Trojans of a USC. And we have the Aggies of Texas A&M at number 11. Alabama 12, Michigan 13, BYU 14, and Texas Tech 15. Now, I did a over-under video probably about a month back now, and I did it for every single Power 4 team, and they had Texas Tech going 11.5 wins. They have the best over-under prediction of any team in the country. They were the only team that was 11.5. Outside of them, everybody was 10.5 and under. And looking at the Red Raiders schedule, you see them going 11-1 because, they were that good this past year, and they were looking like they were going to be even better this upcoming year. But now it looks like their quarterback is going to be ineligible. Nothing is definitive yet. Nothing is set in stone yet. But it looks like he's going to be ineligible. And if he is, their backup quarterback, Will Hammond, will become their starting quarterback. And he was the backup quarterback this past year and played a lot because Barron was hurt, and Will Hammond is not any good. So I would say if Brendan Sorsby is ineligible and they have to go with Will Hammond, who's also coming off an injury. Their over-under is going to drop from 11.5 down to probably 9.5 because their defense is so good. They're still going to win most of their games, but there's going to be a couple of games where your defense is going to struggle to hold somebody under 24, and I just don't know with Will Hammond at quarterback, they're going to be able to score 24. Number 16, Penn State, who I also did a video on. I had them going 9-3. Number 17, LSU, who was my first preseason prediction video. I had the Bayou Bengals going 10-2. They're ranked 17th. SMU 18th, 19th, and Tennessee rounds out the top 20. And then we have Iowa, Florida State, Houston, Clemson, and Boise State. And Florida State is the 5th and final team that I've done a preseason prediction video on. And I had Florida State going 6-6. Well, obviously, the people at USA Today don't see it how I see it. One of us is going to be way wrong because if I'm right and they're 6-6, they're not going to be number 22 in the country. And if they are 22 in the country, they're way better than 6-6. And I do think from top to bottom, their roster is better than last year's roster, but they just don't have a quarterback. And I just can't see them going any better than 7-5 with no quarterback. Just don't see it. So that's one team that me and the USA Today see completely different. Now, every other team on here, I can see. I might have each team ranked 1 or 2 spots higher or lower. But outside of that, 24 of the 25 teams on this list, I'm okay with, and I can see them being the 24 best teams in the country. But Florida State, I just don't see. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see it. But any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I once had a job as a historian, but I quit. I just didn't see a future in it. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye. Hey there, Owen.